Smoke filled the street like a thick, grey curtain. People ran, faces pale, confusion and fear on every face. A child clutched a small wooden doll. Close on the doll, its painted hair powdered with gritty dust. The air was heavy, hard to breathe. Ash settled everywhere, a quiet blanket of impending doom, the usual sounds. The vendors were gone. The laughter was gone. The gossip was gone, replaced by a low, unsettling hum from the earth and the shuffling of panicked feet on stone. A cart blocked the narrow road, its axle was shattered. Men argued, voices sharp with desperation. The driver cursed the gods, his hands bloody from lifting splintered wood. Soldiers pushed against the dead weight, muscles straining. Time was not a friend. It slipped away like fine sand through their fingers. The city was a trap, the broken cart one of its many teeth. A rich man, mounted on a nervous, dancing horse, made a choice. He chose to turn left at the fork in the road. He believed it was a faster way, a shortcut to the city gate. Servants trailed behind him, his plan born of privilege. He had money. He had loud words. The ground trembled, a soft, shy tremor. People stopped, searching the strange, hazy sky as the birds fell silent. The air felt charged, heavy with unspoken threat. A baker, smelling sulfur, looked toward the great mountain. A thick column of smoke curled from its peak, a sight that chilled him more than any earthly fear. The warnings had been there all along, scattered like dark seeds. People collected them like loose coins, then simply put them away. Those who chose the right road found a clear route. A woman with a bread cart slipped through a broken gate, glancing back only once. But the left road, chosen by a rich man on a horse, became a trap. The crowd followed, creating a bottleneck of fear. There was no single cause for the disaster, only a chain of small human choices, each one tightening the knot until it could never be undone. The path to safety was closing, one wrong turn at a time. The mountain woke with a deep, guttural sound. Ash fell in earnest, a heavy, clinging pace that plunged the streets into a terrifying twilight. A teacher gathered his students. Though a clearer path was open, he chose to stay.
We can wait here.
Elsewhere, a mother stood beneath a groaning wall, calling for her husband. He had told himself he would fix it later. Each was trapped not by the crowd, but by their choices. The word later had become the most dangerous in the city. The ash pressed down on the city like a physical hand, immense and suffocating. It whispered down alleys, poured into open mouths, a dry, tasteless poison. People tied scraps of cloth over their faces. Their eyes burned. Steps slipped on the ever-thickening grey grit. The crowd on the left road no longer moved like a river. It was a stagnant, churning sea of humanity. Those who could not keep their footing fell, lay flat and were quickly covered, hands pulling at legs of the living. A child was lifted above the crowd, then dropped into the chaos. A dog howled a mournful, piercing note, then was silenced by the crush. Hands clawed the unyielding stone of the walls, nails breaking, fingers bleeding. No one could dig a path through this living wall of flesh and fear. The choice to turn left had led them all to a dead end. No escape. The only way left was down. A portly merchant clutched a small, heavy chest to his chest, struggled to move, the treasure an anchor. He could have left it, dropped the chest, used his hands to climb or push. He did not. He imagined the chest would buy a future, a new life. A distant, sharp crack split the street. The cracked wall gave way. Dust and stone exploded outward. The chest slipped from his arms into the grey tide. He never had time to regret it. The sky grew truly dark, not with night but with falling rock and superheated ash. The roads were hopelessly choked. The near misses appeared like ghosts in the memory of those who survived. A group of friends, young and full of life, had almost chosen a different gate. They argued and laughed about which path was best, their easy laughter soon becoming the heavy, ragged breathing of panic. They chose the right road at the last second, a decision based on nothing more than a whim. A man in the crowd dropped his sandal, bent to pick it up, found it, and kept walking. He felt a sudden chill and stepped into a doorway to rest for a moment. The doorway collapsed behind him. He lived. He later could not explain it. Only a small bright thing, a coin that had fallen from someone's purse and rolled into the dark of the doorway, catching his eye. These were the thin threads of fate, the moments that could have gone either way. For every person who stepped into a collapsing doorway, another stepped out of one just in time. For every group that chose the right road, another chose the left. The difference between life and death was a dropped sandal, a stray coin, a moment of indecision that turned out to be a moment of salvation. There was no single cause, only a chain of choices, small and human, each one making the next worse. The rich man's pride, the cart driver's broken axle, the homeowner's procrastination, the teacher's misplaced faith in shelter, the merchant's greed, each a link forged in ordinary moments of life that came together to create an unbreakable chain of doom. The city was not felled by a single blow from a wrathful god. It was brought down by 1,000 tiny cuts, 1,000 small mistakes made by ordinary people in an extraordinary time. Time moved without mercy, each second an eternity. The air grew hotter, searing the lungs. It was hard just to draw in the toxic, ash-filled air. A column of smoke and fire rose so high it cut off the sun, creating an unnatural night. People stumbled and clung to each other, identities lost in one suffering mass. The wrong turns could not be fixed. Doors were jammed, stones had shifted, paths were lost forever under the falling sky. Hands that wanted to help could not pry apart the mass of people who had sealed their own fate. At last, a profound silence came. The chaos was over, and all that remained was the stillness of a tomb. The vibrant life of a thriving city had been stopped in an instant, frozen in its final, frantic pose. The tragedy was not just the eruption, it was the series of small human failures that preceded it, a populace that walked into a trap of its own making. Which small step would you take if you stood at that fork in the road with the sky turning dark?